Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to another video. Welcome to another show. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a fantastic freaking day. Today is a special subject. This is a small video. I know I haven't done a video like that in a while. I usually like to keep them for mukbang because mukbang are I can't say that. It's gonna be one of my secrets, right? When I do mukbang, I'm gonna eat a meal every day, so I need a subject every day, and that's why I tend to want to put these ID or these concept in the form of a mukbang, which again is just me eating or just me having a meal. Now, a couple people, I really enjoyed doing this video. I'm really excited to do this video because it's us creating a bond. It's us sharing. I've been getting a couple of comments for as to the burping, as to the gas, and I didn't want. It's funny because I'm always saying how I'm still trying to figure out social interaction. I'm still trying to figure out how to be more social or more sociable, socially acceptable, due to my path of being a loner, introvert. And now you're saying you're not an introvert. You talk all the time. Yeah, I talk all the time about nonsense. When you actually come to talk about emotion, how you feel, completely different. Nice shirt, Massima. She brought it to me today. So super cool shirt. I love it. It's really really nice. I love this shirt. Now, back to the subject. Now, the reason why the reason why I don't say sorry or don't hide burps or fart. It's quite simple. Again, I didn't want to hide it. I wasn't trying to make a joke out of it. It's not necessarily this video is not necessarily a I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm gonna be honest. If you're looking for a sorry, I'm not sorry. But there's a reason for that. There's a method to the madness. There's absolutely a reason why I feel like this is something I should do. All my life, right? I understand the importance and how rude it is to be burping and to be farting. I understand that, but all of my life I was the guy who said sorry too often. And there's nothing wrong with saying sorry too often, but when it comes to a what am I how can I call it? When it comes to a reflex, that's the word I'm looking for. When it comes to a reflex that is not good. So, for example, if something falls, you say sorry, right? If you bump into somebody, you say sorry. Um, there's a bunch of time I said sorry where a sorry wasn't needed, and what I mean by that, and that's the important, that's the super superlative relationship of this video. Now the reality is, again, I know it's rude, but trust me, there's a it's funny because this morning I got a comment about it earlier today, and again I'm really thankful to the person who commented, but this is like the fourth comment I'm getting on that, and I feel bad because again I know it's not polite per se, but I was a guy who apologized so often. It was a reflex, and the problem with that is for me, well, a rule of thumb, a sorry or a thank you or I love you. For me, being sorry is a emotion. Being sorry is feeling remorseful, regretful, realizing you're fucking up, doing something that you're not supposed to do, which is burping and farting, right? But there's moments where you're truly sorry, like holy shit, you should have done that, or when somebody loses somebody and you're like sorry for your loss, you're truly sorry for that. But the problem when you're saying sorry as a reflex, which is something I did all my life, my 30 years of living, sorry was a reflex. There's time where, and not even fucking years ago, like a couple months ago, um there's time where people are saying why are you sorry, and I couldn't answer because, well, it was just my way of not defending myself, but it was just such a normality for me to say sorry that I didn't know what to answer. And there's also the fact that there's time where I felt like I needed to be sorry when I wasn't being needed to be sorry. There was this moment 3 weeks ago, and I'm not holding on to the past. I'm not being angry. I'm not being like, oh, this is fucked up. But there was a situation about 3 weeks ago. So I'm at work, which I no longer have because the company closed, and the guys who were replacing me left a mess. Now, the first day I cleaned, I didn't say anything. The second day, I cleaned, but I said, "Hey, be careful." Now, the third day, because again, it was the last. It was almost finished with the work, so they were taking out the machine. So it was a smaller team, right? So they could work. So, for example, you guys saw how I work. You guys saw where I work, and it's nice because we're four, but we can be only two. So what they would do is they would do two, and then the people would work on the other side, taking up the machine. Then they would do two on the other machine, and the people that were taking out the machine worked back to where we begin, right? So they were a smaller team. So being a smaller team, I wasn't actually chosen, which is okay. I get it. But on the third day, they came back, and when I'm saying they left the place dirty, I really mean dirty. They took the plastic out of the, and I thought about that in a nature corn. They took the plastic left on the floor. They took the papier, the paper which we're supposed to fold. They don't fold it. They just leave it on the ground. Fuck it, because they know I'm gonna take care of it. Now I got angry. I got really angry and said, "Hey, you're not fucking respecting me." And I got really really mad. Possibly one of the time I felt the most mad, and I was like, "Bro, you don't fucking respect me. I've been telling you for 3 days now. Be nicer. Be more respectful with my space. Be nicer with the fact that this is where I work, and you're turning it into a pigsty, which is not something I appreciate." And I got really mad, and everybody were looking at me because I really blew up. I'm not a guy that gets mad a lot. I really blew up, right? So what happened was the people, they were like, "Oh, what happened to this guy? Why is he blowing up?" And they were actually angry because I got angry. Now, fact. My reaction was possibly not a good reaction. I should have not gotten angry, but at the end, I was nice enough to talk about them the first day. I was nice enough to tell them the second day. The third day, I told them I wasn't that nice. And again, my biggest issue is the third day, they left the mess before lunch. Then they told me to work after lunch, but my place was a pigsty. So I cleaned up the morning, right? And then I come back from to lunch and I have to clean up again. Now that's when I exploded. And people were mad at me because I exploded. And my first reflex was to say sorry. Sorry, I got angry. But then I thought about it, and although my reaction was possibly not the best reaction, I wasn't sorry. I didn't feel like I should be sorry. I felt like I was justified in the fact that, yo, this is where I work. And it's all a reaction. You're not an asshole because you react to something. You're not an asshole because you push back. You're not an asshole. The asshole isn't when the person that pushes. Now, you're an asshole if somebody push you and you punch them. I'm an asshole because I was getting angry and they didn't mean to make me angry. But I tried a nicer way. I tried to say sorry. Didn't work. Now, what that has to do with the burp and the fart, when I realized that, also me being too kind, I realize often, it's a weird situation. I realize that a lot of people were kind of fucked up. A lot of people were taking advantage of my kindness, but it was weird. And I'm talking talking a lot about work, and the reason why I'm talking about work is because this is my social interaction in the last years. I'm not a guy that goes out a lot. I'm not a guy that has a lot of friends. And yeah. So coming back to the subject, it was weird because I felt like my kindness was taken advantage of multiple times, but then they were being super kind to me. Like, for example, there's leftover on a Friday meal that you guys saw on the YouTube channel, which is this one. Right. And yeah, so you see the meal, and I was getting the leftovers, and they were always preferential treatment to me because, again, I'm young, I'm nice, so they were treating me better than a lot of the other guys there, which again I felt bad, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say. They would treat me better than the other people. I felt bad and I said sorry to them, but I wasn't the one that was treating them worse than me. Other people were supposed to say sorry, but I said sorry because I'm a nice guy once again. But that taking advantage of my kindness really really bugged me because I was in a position where I was like, well, what do I do? Do I become a dick? No, that's not a solution. Do I become meaner? That's not a solution. The extreme issue that we had was, again, me saying sorry is a perception that, how can I say that? If you have an argument, okay? If you have an argument, and I'm not saying I'm always right. That's not what I'm trying to say. But you have an argument, and both people that have the argument believe, oh, I'm right, and the other guy believe I'm right. Now, me, because I apologize, and the other guy won't apologize. Me apologizing is like admitting that you're right. So you're enabling bad behavior, right? I used to get bullied at that job, and my answer to being bullied was, "Hey, I'm sorry, I got you mad, right? I'm sorry I got you mad, and that you're bullying me because of that." Now, if I did something wrong and your answer is violence and bullying, then I shouldn't be sorry. Okay, I maybe not be the perfect person, but your reaction is worse than my action. You understand? It's like, oh, I stole $1 and you stole $20. And like, well, we both stole. No, you stole a lot more. And this is what I'm trying to say with the fart and the burp. I understand that these are not technically correct. They're not polite. I'm not saying you shouldn't say sorry. I'm not saying that you shouldn't say apologize for burping or farting. I'm not saying that at all. Opposite. You should be apologizing because you're rude. What I'm trying to say with this video and the entire concept of this video is, don't say sorry because everybody else says sorry. Say sorry because you mean it. Now, when I burp, right, when I fart in my videos, I'm alone. You see me alone in this video. And of course, I got people seeing this video. So by seeing this video, it's as if we were eating together, which I'm grateful for. But the reality is I live alone. So, when I burp or when I fart, I don't say sorry to myself because I understand that it's something that I need to get out. I don't say sorry because I'm not offended by my own action. Now, by me not being sorry for my own action, saying sorry doesn't feel real, doesn't feel genuine, doesn't feel authentic, and that is something I don't want to do. I'd rather look like an asshole. I'd rather look like a fucking dick that has no matter than someone that's disingenuous. Because again, if I'm being completely honest, this is something I'm sorry for. So we were talking about the video that we shouldn't be sorry for. The whole concept of this video has been about me not being sorry. Well, there's one thing that I'm sorry. There was a time in my life where all I did was lie, manipulate, treat people like my needs were more than them, and that was an excuse for me using them, which is not cool. Once again, you shouldn't use people. Now, what I'm trying to say with this is that that person, that was me a couple of years ago, we're talking 4-5 years ago, that person that was me felt bad about it, felt sorry, and that was a sorry that was genuine because fuck, you didn't act properly, right? But that guy was lying, and he said, no, I'm not sorry. Now, when I'm saying I'm not sorry about what I'm doing, I am. It's such a hard concept. Like, it's a question of perception, you know. And that comment that made me do this video was such a good comment. It was somebody that came in and said, "Hey, don't think this is the wrong way." And the comment that made me do this video was a actual intelligent conversation, which meant I wanted to have this intelligent conversation. And I could have wrote a answer that lasted 10 minutes, which is this video, but I'm not. So again, if we get a summary, I'm not gonna apologize by reflex. I know it's wrong, but again, I'm alone. It does sound like I'm saying excuses. It does sound like don't give a shit. I do give a shit. If I'm with people, for example, if I'm with my mom, I made a video with my mom today, eating with my mom. And in that video, if I burped, I would say sorry. If I farted with my mom, I would say sorry. Because she's present with me. And I'm not being sorry because I'm burping or farting. I'm not being sorry for that. I'm being sorry because there's somebody with me and I'm not being polite. Now, it's really hard for me as a small channel, as a small YouTuber. I'm not saying one day I'm not going to realize, but it's really hard for me with the reach that I have to understand the impact that not saying sorry has. And I guess that's also why, you see, what I'm saying right now, the whole entire video isn't eternal. One day I'll be, one day even if I'm alone, I'll say sorry because I know people are watching. You know, it's a weird thing. It's a really weird thing. I want you to make an exercise, please for me. I want you to exercise and try to remember the last time you said sorry in front of a mirror. This video is like a mirror. I don't have any idea of the reach that I have. On that note, know that I love you, that you matter. If I offended you, I am sorry because my goal is not to offend you. If you can understand the idea of this video, thank you. And if you just want me to apologize by reflex, I don't think that's something I should do. So if that's something that bothers you, that's life, right? Life is also, if you want to go deeper in the meaning, life is also a question of, well, this made me uncomfortable. How do I feel about it? And in a perfect fashion, something that made you uncomfortable. It's a great thing because out of being in discomfort, you evolve as a person. And evolving as a person is actually super important. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.